What is up? This is Arlington and I just landed right now. We're doing a bat job. He's sealing everything up and we're leaving like 3 entry points. I'll make sure I'll do a video just for bats only, but that's not what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about a little bit more into detail of my overseas secretary. Let's get it. We're gonna go over 3 things. 1, how I met her. 2, what's her pay. And 3, what's her duties. So let's get to it. All right, first one is actually a pretty funny story because every time someone asks me how I met my secretary or my admin, they always end up laughing when I tell them the story. So I don't know if y'all remember that one time when I traveled to Costa Rica, I needed a quick recharge. I wanted to unplug from my business just for like a few days, so I can just come back full throttle and get back to business. Because like I said, we are like phones, we need to be charged, right? And that's what I needed. But you know, I went on a solo trip, and while I was on that solo trip, I needed like a date. I needed some company. So guess what I did? A typical guy, I guess, downloaded Tinder, just swipe on all the attractive girls, and she was pretty good looking. And it's funny because we were talking, we couldn't meet up. Sadly, unfortunately, I ended up meeting up with someone else, but her work schedule was just kind of complicated. But the point is, we were talking about her background, and she was talking about how she's a sales rep for AT&T. Sales rep for AT&T. And I'm like, I went from like a date mentality to like, whoa, woke me up. Okay, this is more business. I need you for business. I didn't even see her sexually. I didn't even see her like, romantically. I just wanted her. I'm like, okay, I need you for like business reasons. And I told her, I'm like, hey, look, I'm willing to pay you a little more, and which is gonna lead me to number 2. More than you're getting paid at AT&T. And she's like, yeah, let's talk numbers. And I told her, and that's what leads me to number 2. $200 a week. And that over there in Costa Rica, it's actually pretty good. It's a little bit above normal salary. So what does that include? What does that $200 include? When I tell people like that I have a secretary, they think I just have like a call center. And this other guy thinks like, oh, I don't want that for my business. Like, I don't want them to think they're talking to robots or just talking to like people from overseas in India. No. She's more than that. She responds, gives you quotes, she puts you on the schedule. There's a complaint that comes in, she answers it. She's like, don't worry, we're gonna have a technician out there the next day. We'll take care of you. That's what leads to number 3. Of course, she's gonna be, of course, receiving phone calls, making phone calls. There's a few picky customers that they don't want a text message about the reminder, so I make her do some phone calls like, hey, your appointment's coming up. Beautiful. It removed so much weight off my plate, and I think having a secretary was probably one of the best decisions I ever made in my business. Organizing route, that's a beautiful thing too, because this is something I was fucking up. I'm sorry for my profanity, but I was fucking up. And I had my second truck. I was just focusing on my own route, but I wasn't organizing my second routes. Because like I was just getting off guard, getting distracted, and I'm like, shit. Monday comes around or Sunday comes around, I'm like, damn, I haven't organized the route for this week for that second truck. And she's on top of that. She's already knows the game. I had to correct her here and there. Of course, people are not perfect and people are not gonna operate like you. So keep that in mind. So you gotta be very patient if you're gonna hire a secretary, especially someone overseas. You gotta be very patient because they don't even know your map. They don't know the zip codes. They don't know the areas of where the rich people are, where the poor people are at. You gotta be very patient. Like you're like, hey, don't try to stay away from this area. Or I'm like, hey, no, don't schedule it like this. You putting them to go from like up north to like down south, and you're only giving them a 30-minute time frame. Like, come on, And there are so many things I had to correct her on, and it was a process. But guess what? She has lasted already a year. So I was like, that's why I'm making this video, because she's already been with me for a year. And of course, she does payroll. Times that I do it, there's times that I make her do it. Oh, and another thing is that I completely missed out. But sometimes, no, actually most of the time I take care of that. But there's times that I'm out in the field all day. I'm doing, like I said, my job takes me all the way to 7 p.m., 8 p.m. So she does this. This is something, a time saver. It was amazing that I was able to delegate that one of her duties. And that is collect payments. Oh, amazing. There's times I'm out working all day and I have 2 other trucks running. So guess what? I'm focusing on my own thing, and I have my phone calls coming in too, because there's some people that still have my personal number, not my work number. So I have so much going on. Like, if you're a business owner, you know what I'm talking about. And especially if you're scaling the way I am, you know what I'm talking about. You just get off track and you have so much things going on that you forget that you have 3, 4 other trucks running. So she does collecting payments. We already have the cars on file, she does that, she charges the cars on file, she asks for the Zelles payment, or she makes a phone call to collect the credit card information. I had to make this video. She already lasted a year, and I'm back on the whiteboard too. If y'all remember, there's a few that y'all remember that when I first started doing YouTube videos, I started doing it with the whiteboard, but I wasn't getting enough traction. I stopped doing YouTube, but now I'm back. Now I know that I have a little bit of an audience, and I'm hoping I can grow a little bit more and carry out with me, because more videos are on the way. So anyways, this is Arlington with Aviator Pest Control, where we fly. I hope to see y'all next time.